Hi. Oh my God. I'm sleepy. Good morning, everyone. Okay, can y'all hear me? I'm sorry. I have to switch because this internet here is it's crazy. Okay, can y'all hear me? 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 I hope y'all can hear me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Can y'all hear me? Sorry. I have a lot going on. Okay, y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Y'all can hear me. Hey, Nisi. Hey, Taniqua. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Nosy. Hey, girl. Hey, Nosy girl. Um, it's CD, Callie, Fifi. Y'all, my voice is everywhere. My goddaughter's birthday party was yesterday. So I came down to my town where my family is, which is like 2 hours from where I live. So yeah, I'm in a bummy hotel looking bummy. But yeah, so the party was great. We had a really good time. Her actual birthday is today, and so is our girl Tiff West. So shout out to Tiff West. I will be going live later, and we will be throwing my baby a birthday party. My sister, my sister, my sister. So we will be on here later to throw Tiff West a birthday party. So shout out to Tiff West. Happy birthday, beautiful. We love you. We love you. We love you. Good morning. So, good morning to everyone. I know Tiff is, I'm sure she's still knocked out. I was talking to her last night. So, but yeah, so shout out to Tiff West. Happy birthday. We love you. So, getting into this topic, with Armon Wiggins, shout out to Armon Wiggins. I appreciate him coming forward with this information about Kerrion. Allegedly, we know for sure, if it's Kerrion. But if you don't know, yeah, what? Tasha. What about Tasha? Oh, am I reading her yesterday? Yeah. I'm probably gonna go on station and talk about that. Yeah. So yeah, we're probably gonna station head after this maybe and talk about the whole clash against the Titans between Armon and Tasha. Yeah, so we'll talk about that towards the end, but yeah, there was definitely a clashing yesterday. Y'all know, I don't play by my fucking friends. Armand is my friend. I don't like people attacking my friends because he has friends, fuck that ass. So bitches they'll be trying to jump my fucking friend, like you hoes is trying it, like y'all really is. So I'm just like, oh, what? Like these YouTube streets right now are crazy. Like it's a lot, or it's a lot going on in these YouTube streets right now. I noticed that yesterday. Shout out to King Payne. He and Jaguar Wright. Shout out to the both of them. I saw that they're together in Vegas. So, shout out to them for uniting in peace and getting together. So shout out to them for that. I think it's a wonderful thing. And then everything that's going on with this Armand exclusive. So if you haven't heard the recording, you should go over to the Armon Wiggins show and check it out. He also did basically like a live panel after it, which I thought was a great idea, so that he could get the people's opinion. because I thought that was a very valid. I'm like, that's perfect, yeah, because I'm sure hearing something like that, hearing that clip, you're gonna want to get your opinion out, so I thought that was great. Instead of, because I'm like, that's too big of a bombshell out of this whole storm, that's been going on with Kirk and his son, for I'm like, this is big, so um now, with the recording, we don't necessarily know for a fact, obviously. That's why Armon himself kept saying, like, allegedly, and things in that nature to protect himself. And you just don't know. And Kerrion himself has not necessarily stated this out loud, nor has he claimed the clip. So, I feel like that's one thing, the Bail and Bomb Squad, like, if you are an Armon Wiggins stan, like if you watch Armon, I feel like y'all should be on Twitter, on Instagram, like everywhere, tagging him, taking a piece of that clip of Armon's, putting it on social media, and tagging him underneath it, tagging Kerrion. Like, is this you? Like, this is floating around about you, So, like, I feel like that's what y'all should be doing. Instead of, like, his supporters running around fighting, them drunk-ass, delusional-ass, motherfucking punk-ass winos beach. I feel like y'all should be doing that. Because, like, fuck them. Like, they're just trying to distract everybody from Armon's exclusive so that people overlook it. So then when this story comes out again one day, it's like the necessary party, which would be, I feel like, Armon and others, they're not going to get the credit that they deserve. So I don't feel like that's cool. So I feel like the Bells and Bomb Squad, like, y'all should be focusing on that. Fuck these winos. The winos can't say shit to nobody. Winos can't say shit to nobody. Tasha Flatfoot, Duckfoot ass went live yesterday to try to basically debunk what Armon was saying. And once again, she came bald-headed with no motherfucking receipts and her teeth wasn't brushed. So, like, once again, like, the bitch went live for nothing. I'm like, girl, did you just want to show your sponsors? I'm like, because I don't get why you just went live. Like, what was this? What was this on a fucking dumbass bitch Friday? I'm like, you been a basic bitch. I'm like, girl, this is sad. This is sad, girl. This is sad how jealous you is. Do you want to be gay? Tasha, do you want to be one of the gay boys? I feel like bitches want to be one of the gay boys. She can't get away from them. She swear up and down, we horrible, we this, we that. But they just can't get away from us gay black boys. Like, I don't get it. Bitches is on gay black boys motherfucking platforms talking shit and shading other gay black boys. And then as soon as bitches get attitudes, it's the gay boys. Yeah, I'm not fake enough to sit with a fake ass, basic ass bitch like that. Like, I just can't do it. Absolutely not. Bitches buying Michael Kors because pretty bitches is buying Michael Kors, but the pretty bitches that's buying Michael Kors is in season. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting the 2014s, talking about some, motherfuckers talk about my shoes. So let me show you how to do it in 2014. So, okay, girl. Hair flip. So what I think about the clip, because yeah, I'm going to station here and I'm gonna rip into bitches. Because these hoes running around trying to jump people like Armon don't have friends. Bitch, he do. He do. Bitch, I was busy yesterday. I'm awake now. I'm awake now. I'm awake now. Yeah. So hair flap. I'm awake now. I'm awake now, bitch. Yeah, I'm awake now, girl. So here come those gay boys. So Armon drops the clip of Kerrion and this alleged conversation that he's having, with other people. And in this clip, during the clip, Kerrion being upset, saying certain things during it. When Kirk Franklin's song is played, Kerrion says allegedly this person is Kerrion speaking. The voice is pretty much identical to Kerrion's. So, because I wouldn't looked it up myself, so I wouldn't looked on his Instagram, a Facebook post, an interview that he did. So I wouldn't listen. So I'm like, this definitely sounds just like this. Sounds like this is Kerrion. This sounds like Kerrion. So when he states while Kirk Franklin's song is being played that he doesn't say Kirk Franklin, molest, that's not what he says. He says, so you're just going to play my molester's music. So I'm going to say this. If that is allegedly Kerrion, if that is him, and Kerrion is stating that you're going to play my molester's music, and Kurt Franklin was playing, and that is his father, it could mean multiple things. It doesn't necessarily mean to me, when I think about it, that like right away, that a shout out to my girl Shabay, love you, thank you so much, sweetie. I'm not gonna say like right away that I think that it could be Kurt Franklin. It's strong possibility, that if that's allegedly Kerrion, and Kerrion is stating that while Kurt Franklin is playing, because Kurt Franklin was not playing before the argument, Kurt Franklin gets playing during the argument, and he does say, so you're just gonna play my molester's music. So here's what I'm starting. Here's I go to three possibilities. I go to the first possibility, as it's possible that he's stating that Kirk Franklin allegedly sexually molested him, as a child or whatever. Or it could be, like the second thing my mind went to, is that it could be he was just saying it out of anger, within that moment, which it wouldn't make sense because Kirk Franklin wasn't mentioned. So that there would be no reason for him to just throw him in it. Although they were talking about he was talking about the Illuminati, and stuff like that prior in the conversation. But I mean, it's possible that he could have said it out of anger. Then the third thing my mind went to. So the first thing my mind went to is he's possibly stating right now that his father, allegedly, Kurt Franklin, molested him. He's saying this out of anger was the second thing my mind went to. But then my mind went to, well, Kurt Franklin's not being mentioned right now. Like what would be his point, of throwing that? It sounds like he's upset with the person that is in the room, and the obviously gay person that was in the room that he was talking to, because he was talking to a gay person, and there was a female that was in the room. So there was no real reason, for him to throw Kurt Franklin under the bus within that moment when he wasn't even being mentioned. So I'm like, okay, well, what's the point? So, but then I'm thinking, like, just out of anger, I'm like, most people aren't going to draw that type of conclusion out of anger, even if they are upset. They're usually upset because of it, So, like, they're upset because the person did it, So, and then the third thing my mind went to is rituals. I feel like when I've done my research on these people, when people do certain things to people, they do it, and they have certain rituals that they do. Like when they abuse certain people, they abuse them at a certain place, or they'll do a certain thing, or something like that. So what if somebody was molesting Kerrion, and they knew his father was Kurt Franklin, and they will molest him to that song? So like it could, I'm like, my mind went to that too. I'm like, so well, what if somebody was molesting him, but just to that song, or to Kurt Franklin's music, deliberately, as like a power strip, as like, I'm gonna, hurt you, and they probably use Kurt Franklin like against him, possibly, and that could be a lot of animosity that he has against his father, because his father, wasn't there, to protect him necessarily. So I'm just thinking, like, okay, well, what if somebody, did that deliberately? Like, what if somebody in his life was molesting him, but you like did it to like Kurt Franklin's music, or something like that? I'm like, that's possible, so I'm just like, but something came from that though. It's just not nothing. So for people to just try to make it seem like, oh, well, this just isn't a big deal. Like if a female said this would be everywhere. This would be everywhere. If Kirk Franklin's daughter had this same conversation that was recorded and it was aired, this shit would be everywhere. It would be like fire, like literally a fire to dry land. If it was a female saying it. But I feel that since it's a male stating it, I feel that a lot of people are overlooking it, just because he's a man. Because I feel like if this was a woman, this would be over every blog, every YouTuber would be sharing it. Like, oh, did you hear that Kurt Franklin's daughter came, there's a clip, that came forward and she said dot, 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 and instantly everybody would jump on it. They would be all over it. But since he's a male, I feel that it is being overlooked. Even if there's a possibility when it's a woman, it's still like into hyperdrive. Like people go 0 to 100. Look at this shit with the T.I. and Tiny accusers. All of them are women. Look how big this has gotten damn near overnight. How big it got. But let some men have come forward and stated something like that. That would be completely overlooked. In the Usher case, with the victims coming forward suing Usher and taking Usher to court, they only talk about the women. There are men that came forward and said that they contracted herpes allegedly through Usher, and they are always overlooked. Like a lot of people don't even know. They feel like it was just women. Like, no, it was men too, but they get overlooked, when it comes to anything sexual, because I feel that men usually are looked at as the aggressors. When it comes to any type of sexual, usually abuse or assault, it's more so of the men inflicting it and the woman having to be protected from it, but when it happens to a man, it's overlooked, like people just, I feel that way. All the stories that happen to all of the men, that's why I rock so hard, for the Rasbys and people like that, because their stories do get overlooked. If Rasby was a female coming forward stating anything that he stated, it would be a wrap. If Janae Aiko said anything, it'd be a wrap. It'd be everywhere. Everywhere. Cancel culture. I'm just saying. But since he's a man, people are overlooking it. I don't feel that it should be overlooked. And I don't feel that people should overlook it just because of where it came from. So if you have a problem with somebody like Armon, for displaying such information, I feel like that's crazy. And then especially when people want to see other people get involved when certain things like this happen to victims, and people to stand up for them. So now that Armon is doing that, with people trying to make it seem like this is not credible or doesn't mean anything or anything like that, why would he want to stick up for people in the future? Like, why would he want to do it if this is the type of treatment that he's going to get? Like, what's the point? I mean, that's just how I look at it. I mean, what would be the point of him, trying to help anybody or defend a male victim or female victim that came forward if this is the type of energy that he's going to get? I feel that it's a little crazy. I feel like we don't know, like 100% if that's Kerrion, but it does sound like that. But there's a small chance, that is not him. Like a very small chance. It's way of a higher chance that it's him, than it's not him. But it's still a man that is a victim, and that still needs to be looked at. So just because he doesn't say Kurt Franklin, or just because the audio is a little muffled at points, we're supposed to just overlook it. Why? Is it because he's a man? It's still a man that is a victim that is stating that somebody molested them. Like, is that not a problem? Even if it's not Kerrion, this is still a victim stating that they were hurt. And it's just, well, if it's not about Kurt Franklin. Why? This is why men don't come forward now. That's why it's such a higher rate in women coming forward stating sexual abuse than men. This is why. This is why. So I just think that people should pay attention to, if you support victims, you support all victims. So rather that man that was speaking was Kerrion or not, that is still a human being that has been abused. So no matter what, and Armon is still bringing that to the forefront and shedding light on it. So rather, this is it shouldn't matter that since we can't set this in Kerrion's lap and be like, this is definitely you, so this matters now. So it's like we're saying that to that victim, if that man is not Kerrion, that it still doesn't matter. So it's like, you're not Kerrion, so whatever you went through, whoever molested you, oh well. We were just trying to make sure it wasn't Kerrion. It's still a person stating that. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I'm just like, what is wrong with the world? I'm like, oh, this is sad. I'm like, this is sad. This is truly sad. Like, if this is what the world has come to where a victim, a human being, is sitting there stating that they were molested. And if you can't figure out if it's a famous person's son, that's what's going to determine if you care or not. I'm only gonna care if this is Kerrion. If it's not Kerrion, oh well. So it's when we say that men are overlooked, we are literally overlooked. Like, that is literally still overlooking someone that has been abused. Like, that is not cool. Like, I'm like, that's still not cool for people to be like, oh well, that's not him. That doesn't sound like him. Does that still not sound like a human coming forward stating that they were sexually abused? Why does it matter the identity? Why does the identity matter? Why does the last name matter? Although it's still an extremely high chance that that is Kerrion. It sounds just like him. Literally. Even when he got angry. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds just like him. And the things that he was saying about himself, y'all already say I'm gay. Y'all already say, yeah, he's addressed that in interviews before. So yeah, I'm like, this sounds like that is Kerrion from what I get. You know, I mean, the only little piece that's missing is Kerrion saying, yes, that's me. Other than that, I mean, that's Kerrion. I mean, I guess if people want to wait for him to come forward and, say that it's him, I mean, I guess. But I mean, at this moment in time, that's Kerrion. What he was specifically relating to when it came to Kirk Franklin and the abuse, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He could have been saying that, clear as day. He could have been saying, my father did this. He could have. Or he could have just been saying it because somebody else, like maybe abused him to Kirk's music, or something like that. Because, what people saying like, oh, well, maybe he said it out of anger. I can see that because, sometimes we do say crazy things as humans when we're upset. We do. We say some just off the wall shit, sometimes. But I just really don't feel like, what does that have to do with anything? Why would he throw Kirk under the bus in a moment to where Kirk is not really even like being mentioned? Like, there's really no reason. Like, he was upset with the gay male that he was talking to, and low-key the female that was there too. He was kind of upset with them having a discussion with them. So Kirk wasn't there. So there was really no reason, for Kirk to be mentioned. And so that's how I look at it. I have no, idea, and I don't want, like Kirk to have done that to his son, because that's horrible. I will say this. It would explain a lot about Kerrion. If allegedly, if Kirk did it, I feel like it would explain a lot about Kerrion. It would explain a lot about his energy. It would explain a lot about why Kerrion feels so entitled to certain things, since everyone says, oh, Kerrion is spoiled, he's entitled, he's this, he's that. I mean, I feel like that's why Raz B and a lot of the group members, felt entitled, when it came to Chris Stokes, because they went through a certain situation. Most molesters are, tit for tat. It's kind of like dangling candy in front of a child. They will place something there, for you to feel comfortable, or for them to basically be able to give you the world and take the world away, at the same time. So it's like they have to have both powers. They have to be able to give you the world and take it away. Give you the world to keep you doing what they want you to do, especially sexually, and take it away to keep you in fear of telling anyone. So it's like they have to be able to do both. So it would explain, why Kerrion feels so entitled and why he gets so upset, when certain things aren't being done when it comes to Kirk, why he feels so entitled. It's like, everything you took me through, everything, and then a personality also gets used to that. When women or men, go around and have sex with people or date people, sugar mama, sugar daddy, type of situation, to where you basically give sex to gain things, you can literally, your mind can get used to that, to where that's just what you're used to, so it's the same thing with most abusers. Like they will give you certain things to ease you into, the abuse, like someone that's physically abusive, they will beat you and then bring you a gift, bring you flowers, bring you dinner, make you dinner, and things like that. Do take care of the kids, run you a bubble bath, like they'll do certain things, to enable, themselves, to enable the behavior, because bad has to come with good. It can't just be all bad. All bad makes the person want to leave. All bad makes the person wants to tell, so you have to give them something, to kind of string them along, and I feel like that could be that right grooming. That I do. I feel like that could be another reason why, Kurt Franklin and, family members are saying you're in your 30s, you need to do this, you need to do that, but it's like, well, everybody handles abuse differently. Some people can be abused and completely go on with their lives afterwards, even not even ever even talking about it. Completely go on with their lives and, marry, have, and then some people get abused and they can't even speak after. Some people get abused and it triggers them mentally to where they always have these little, traumas, throughout their day, to where it's hard for them to coexist in the world and to have a job and, to do things like that, because they've been through something very traumatic, because everybody is different, so just because, like me, myself, I'm a survivor. I was sexually abused, coming up, and I handle mine a different way. I know people that have been sexually abused and they just can't function, after that, so everybody's different. And I know people that have been abused and they're just mentally, just not necessarily there. It's like, it's like you will be sitting there talking to them and the conversations will go so many different places, to where you kind of feel like, oh, this person kind of crazy, or something. They're not. It's just they're damaged, like they're really damaged, from their trauma. So it's a little different. It's a little different. So I do feel like that would explain why he feels so entitled to Kurt Franklin. I do feel like that, if he's, because they said that he was really spoiled coming up by Kurt Franklin. So if he was really spoiled and he was being spoiled due to him being allegedly, molested, you're going to be used to that. So just because the molestation stops, how you took care of them, they're not going to expect that to stop. Like, no, like, you've been taking care of me. You got to continue. And then you kind of draw this, like, it's like this wall, that is there, this wall. Both of you are standing in front of it, and it's you, but you can't say anything about the wall, especially within family. When you get abused within your family, it's there, but no one's, it's not an elephant, because everybody pays attention to that elephant in the room, because it's there, that tension. But when it's a family member that did it, there's a lot of family that know that their relative has done something to a certain family member and nothing is ever done. So it's like you have to, it's a lot of families that, like, an uncle molested a niece, and this niece literally has to deal with this person, like, still see them, they're free, like nothing ever happens to them for what they did. So everybody knows, but no one speaks of it. It's this wall that everybody has to walk around. Nobody can approach the wall. Nobody. So that, especially within a family. So, it's a little different when it's somebody outside of the family doing it, because their power, it only goes so far. Because once they leave that house, that's when they get to open back up. That's when you get to open the victim. So it's like with B2K, when they stated that Chris Stokes didn't let them go home. And when they did go home, he didn't let them go home long, because he had to keep that power. The longer your family keeps you, the easier it's going to be for that energy to come out. You are going to say something, because when you are surrounded by love and you are hurt, it just comes out. All it takes is a hug from a certain family member for a person to break down, and that's it. And that's all it takes. You'll hug a person and they'll start crying and you'll think it's because they haven't seen you, things like that. No, they're crying because they feel safe. Like you are somebody that can protect them. And it's something they want to tell you so bad, but they know that they just can't. And especially within Black people, we are pushed in strength. So we tell ourselves to be strong, and we think that because we bury something and suppress something, that is strength. That isn't strength. That is what causes a person to respond and react in certain ways that Kerrion does, and act the certain way that he does, because he's been trying to be strong for so long against something that is wrong. So I could see that. It definitely explains a lot within Kerrion's behavior. So I feel that what the tea that Armon Wiggins, that he dropped with that clip, I think that is very important, and I salute Armon for that, because he is raising awareness to it. Y'all always say that people like Armon, ones that, are really into the celebrity topics and music, and stuff like that, when something serious is going on, that they don't pay attention to it, and stuff like, oh, they don't care about it. And then when they care about it, it gets ignored. This is why we, as YouTube content creators, why we stick to certain things. Because it's hard. It's you putting in all of this work, putting your name on the line, all of this to protect someone, and you get no protection in return. So it's like, why do it? Why risk my brand and everything that I'm doing to try to help someone and create awareness to the situation for this? Like, no, that's not cool. Like I don't. But people gonna do what they do. People gonna do, be who they are. But I completely salute him for it. Shout out to Armon Wiggins, and I appreciate him, putting this, because even when, like, remember when that fake tea had went out about what was that dude's name, and Jaguar Wright was trying to give the information to Tasha K, or for Storm. What was his name? James Wright. What's his name? James Wright. Tamar's friend, the Patty Pies. Is it James Wright or something like that? What is his name? My chat is a little slower, so I gotta give me a minute. Okay. So when that was coming out, when that tea came out on James Wright, so when that came out on him, remember, people were bashing Armon and other bloggers for not jumping on the story of this alleged male victim that had been abused, which was a fake story by James Wright. So people were jumping down his throat. And like, oh, Armon's fake. He won't share the story. He ain't trying to create awareness for these people. He don't care nothing about. So now when a real story comes and he does it, weird. Y'all gotta pick a team. That's all I'm saying. Pick a team. Pick a team. Pick a team. Because he was, oh, Armon wouldn't share it. And there was even Nick and Knight. They were saying Nick and Knight won't share it. And, people like the bigger YouTube creators like, oh, they won't share it. They want this, they want that. So then Armon gets some real tea about a victim. And this is the energy he gets. Crazy. How fake people said he was, and how he didn't care about Black people. He didn't care about men, gay men. Okay. And then he shows you he cares about all of the above. And this is energy he gets. Okay. I'm like, all right. I just don't want it to make Armon feel like what he did is in vain. And because it isn't. And I don't want it to discourage him from doing it again in the future if he needs to create awareness for somebody else. So I don't want that. I don't want that for him. I think what Armon did is a great thing. I do. And I appreciate him for it. It says a lot about him. You could tell watching him in the live that it really affected him. Like it really was like draining his energy, because it is draining, to have these type of conversations. And I feel like that's why a lot of people avoid them. It's because they are really draining. Thank you so much, Jalissa. Is it Jalissa? Yes, Jalissa, for the super sticker, sweetie. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Persuasive. Good morning, keep fighting, and remember, every day SeanDavieWay way is to slay, period. Thank you, sweetie. I just, right, this another, I'm so proud of Armon Wiggins, right? I'm proud of Armon too. And I don't think that he should stop doing what he's doing. And I don't think people realize, something until, you know, yeah. What happened? I shall hair flip. I do have some tea, but I might have to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, girl, send me that I'm bad. Yeah, Armon looked worried. He did. He did. He did look worried. I think he looked worried because it's a hard conversation because like I feel like even with me, I don't want to be the reason why a lot of people love Kurt Franklin, and stuff like that, so it's like I get it. And I mean, with him being a Christian man and trying, the image and stuff that they have, so it's like you just don't want to look at a person in that light. Like, and you don't want to be the reason people look at him in that light too. So I get it. I get it. I get it. So it's like I don't want to be the reason people hate him. And I also, don't want to make it look like I'm trying to like go down this, like attack black people or a black man. Like this isn't my intention, or anything like that. It's just this I feel is an important component to this story, that is going around. So if Sean mispronounced my name one time, I said it's Jalissa, girl. What is it, Jalissa? I don't care. I like what I said, girl. Oh my goodness, girl, we're gonna have to talk about this. Yeah, girl, remind me to talk to you later. Girl, y'all just let me say the names that I say. I don't know why y'all gotta ooh. Ooh, y'all never just let me have nothing. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Right, Taniqua, tell her, girl, I used to say Taniqua name wrong too. It took me a while. It took me a couple weeks. So, girl, y'all be trying to, but I'm about to end this live. I'm not even going live no more because now I'm mispronouncing people's name. Now y'all gonna say that I don't like y'all and I'm disrespectful. He already say bitch and all of that. Girl, I finally just convinced most black women that I really love y'all. It's just like I just convinced y'all like a week ago. Oh my goodness. So no, you tried it. You tried it. You tried it, girl. Y'all be trying it. What happened? Your remember button isn't working. You might have to do it either on desktop or go to like if you have an iPhone or Android, just go into the web and do it. Like don't do it in the app. Sometimes it just be the app. Sometimes it just be the app. Shout out to Laughs and Gags and Gossip. My mom is a pediatric nurse practitioner. She said kids don't typically accuse parents of abuse unless it's true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, especially if that's what he's, insinuating. I mean, it could be him insinuating his father, allegedly. It could be. But it could also have been, someone that molested him to his father's music, or something like that. Because he said, because what and where I get that from is because he says in the clip, so you're just gonna play my molester's music. So it could have been the person singing, which is his father. It could have been that, like as in my father's music, or as in the music, my molester listens to. It could be in either way, but either way, I feel like he got molested. I don't by whom, I don't we don't necessarily know. I feel like that's what needs to be elaborated because that could go a few different ways. But I don't know. I mean I don't know. I just don't feel like that clip was for nothing. I feel like that clip was deliberate. Like and he didn't know that he was being recorded. So that's what makes it. Shout out to Artie Parson. It's a person. Us for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Angela. A period. Social butterfly. Period. Member button worked for me. Oh, okay, it worked for you. Okay, okay. Persuasive. Okay, I'm glad it worked. Thank you, baby. I'm glad it worked. Island, hi. So yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I feel bad, that he feels the need to just throw it out there like that, like to where I feel like maybe people around him treated it as, and there is other parts of the clips, to where his mother has stated certain things in the clip. Like, so I mean, it's a lot. It's something definitely happened to him. It's just who did it is what we don't know. That's what we got to figure out. Hello, so hi, boo. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Lo. Good morning, girl. It's my girl. So I don't know. I just think that he needs to. I just wonder if it ever came up like in therapy, because he's been in therapy with his father. So I just wonder if it's ever came up. I mean, he said they've been in therapy for years. So with Kirk and his son being in therapy for years, I just wonder if this has ever been a conversation. Especially with him having a set type of conversation like this with his mother, and someone, I believe in the clip, stated that the statute of limitation is up, or something like that. Okay, well, if you're talking about statutes of limitation, that's usually due to something criminal, so why are we talking about statutes of limitation, and things like that? That's usually, something towards a crime, something criminal. So I feel like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that it explains a lot. It really does. Because even with Raspy, a lot of people look at Raspy sometimes and they just be like, well, why is he acting like that? Like not too long ago, he tagged, I was like, Raz, what? Buddy, how's your day going? Like, cause what's going on, bud? He tagged Kanye West. This was like what, a week or so ago. Raspy tagged Kanye West on Instagram, and he put his real phone number up and said, "Call me." I said, Demario Thornton, what are we doing here? Why are we putting whole phone numbers on Instagram, knowing everybody about to be calling your ass? I said, so everybody about to call you but Kanye. And Kanye's somewhere in a tree. Talking about the Borgs coming. So I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, Kanye's sitting in that tree with all 6.6 to 8.8 billion damn dollars. So I'm like, Brass, what are we doing? I'm like, yeah, no, buddy. I'm like, no. I'm like, Brass, no. But sometimes you just go through a lot, as a victim. I mean, your mind is elsewhere. You're so damaged from what happened to you, to where you just don't think, I'm not going to say rationally, but sometimes you don't make the most rational decisions. I would say that. B Cannon, first time watching you live, man. Too bad it's on a serious topic, but this is for you. Pop quiz. You have happy Saturday. Oh, shout out to you, B Cannon. Period. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow doing hot topics. We'll be back to tomorrow evening probably doing hot topics, y'all. So yeah, I'm in my hometown with my children. Birthday party is my goddaughter. We're going skating today. I'm not going skating. Last time I went skating with my kids, I broke my wrist. So literally broke my wrist, literally. So yeah, I won't be doing none of that. I will be on the sidelines cheering them on and laughing at them fall. Shout out to Starduster. Appreciate you using your platform for our greatness. Much love and respect to you. Thank you so much, Queen. Thank you so much. Shout out to Seneca for the super sticker. And I said Seneca, girl, look, girl, is it Seneca or Seneca? Cause look, I already got people, look, girl. They're already like, Sean, I keep saying my name. So shout out to you. Thank you so much, sweetie, for the super sticker. Trisha said, right, Kanye gone. Yes. So is this what Jaguar Wright was talking about when she talked about giving Storm a story? No, she was talking about James Wright. She was alleging that some young man had came forward and stated that he had been or being sexually abused by James Wright, and that was a fake story. So, yeah, but no, not this. Not this. Um, I could see this happening. I remember when I watched the Unsung Next, and they said their mother was being molested by their own father, and at the end of the day had a baby by her own daddy. Yeah, that's that Aretha Franklin shit. Mm-hmm. Because Aretha, she had a baby by her father too. Allegedly, her first son was by her father. Um, this is why stuff like this needs to be talked about more in our community. Artie says Kerrion is hurting because of some deep trauma. Sexually abused is likely. Yeah, absolutely. By whom? I don't know. I'm not gonna say that it is Kirk Franklin. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna say that it's a possibility. Um, and it's a possibility that it could have been somebody else of the church. Um, I don't know. It could be. Sometimes when people are sexually abused, they blame, like their parent. So if Kirk Franklin, with Kirk Franklin being a pastor, and say somebody in the pulpit, or something was molesting Kerrion, he could feel that his father is the reason. Especially if his father was told and his father did nothing to protect him. I mean, that could be another reason he blames his father. Shout out to Virginia. I love you and your platform. Thank you so much, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all of y'all support. I really appreciate y'all. Shout out to Laughs and Gags. Sean, we just love you. I love you more. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you so much. Shout out to Lifted for becoming a member. Shout out to you, girl. Welcome to the gang gang. Um, Keish, I love you too. I love you, Sean. Keep it real. In real life, I feel like someone should ask the son if his dad's ever touched him, and people need a straight yes or no. I would agree at this point. It's get it yeah. I mean, honestly, yeah. What's my Cash App? Let me put it up. Let me see. Right here. That is my Cash App. Now I can't get back to the screen. Oh, okay, I'm back. Okay. Shout out to Sonia. Social Butterfly. Good morning, Jezebel. Good morning, Jesse. Jesse baby. Jesse baby. Good morning, girl. Hey, Gavin, say hello to all the moderators. Gavin, you're not gonna say hi to me. You ain't gonna say hi to me, just the moderators. Mm, mm, Ain't that about a bitch? All right. Okay. All right. All right. You better be nice to all of them too. I'm gonna talk about just say hi to the motherfucking moderators. I'm tired of these moderators stealing all my shine. These moderators be trying it. No, 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 no. It's too late. It's too late. Shout out to Prestige. Sean, please give me life and do your Tasha K voice. Girl, look, my voice is too early, and nobody you'll hear all this berry coming out of me, girl. I am heterosexual in the morning and after 6 p.m., girl. I'm hetero. I could pull. You know how many females I could pull calling them like this? Like, hey, what up? Bake it up. What you doing? You trying to go grab something to eat? What you doing? Come on, babe. Get up. Get up. Yeah, y'all really know I'm pulling. I'm pulling. Oh, I'm pulling. I'm pulling. This is why I love vagina, because I just can't get away from it. I just can't get away from it. I'm trying to get a hall pass on my husband. Nah, I just saw the old girl. Shout out to Starters for becoming a member. Period. But hi, winos. I give you a little bit. Because I'm about to go cuss that bitch out on station head. So yeah, I sure am. Since the whole like being on station head, I'm about to go cuss that bitch out. I was trying to keep this live, about Armon because that I feel like that's what we need to do. We need to support each other. We need to support one another. Shout out to Melanie. Thank you, Sean, for discussing a serious topic. Absolutely, this type of stuff is important to me. I feel that in our community, especially in the Black community, it is definitely swept underneath the rug. I feel with this whole no snitch culture, and things like that, even when people get sexually abused, molested, or, even raped, they feel like telling is snitching, so I think that's why a lot of women, don't come forward, and why a lot of men don't come forward too. It's not just the isolation, and especially with a lot of heterosexual men, when they are usually abused, they don't want to be looked at as gay because it does not make you gay. Being abused does not make you homosexual. And I don't think that that is expressed enough. And by that not being expressed enough, I think that that's why a lot of people that are abused, especially men, keep it a secret. Because of one of those things being the reason. Shout out to Flossie. I think people should understand that Kerrion didn't put this out. Someone secretly recorded him. I think that people should understand that too. And that's what I said earlier. I think people should, I said that's even a more reason for me to feel like whoever he was insinuating when he said it, he didn't know he was being recorded. So why would he be saying that to get some type of clout or recognition if he didn't know he was being recorded? Like, that could be possibly the reason he said it, is because he knew he wasn't being recorded, but he was. So shout out to Flossie. I agree with that. Absolutely. Shout out my boo Antoinette, my girl, period. Now I want to know what type of porn Kirk was addicted to. I love you, Sean. I love you more. I hear it was a plethora, and I did hear it was some tranny porn in there. Now, and I say that because literally that's what the porn was allegedly called, tranny porn. Like that, I'm not saying the word tranny. I'm saying that that's what it was called. So he was found with some tranny porn. And so not just tranny, it was some hetero porn too, but he liked it all. Hollywood. And shout out to my boo Valencia. I love you, Sean. I love you too. I love you too, sweetie. Thank you. Wait, is that why the son did it? Did what? Did the recording? Because he didn't know about this recording. This recording was given to Armon by, I believe, I'm assuming it was from the gay male that was in the clip. I think that that's the one who sent it to Armon, because Armon did say it was a male. And so I think it was him. So it wasn't Kerrion. Kerrion didn't send this to. Shout out to CC Explains It All, my boo. I love your channel, Sean. Thank you for bringing awareness to sexual abuse. As a therapist, it means a lot to see people care and bring awareness. No, absolutely. It needs to be. It needs to be. We need to send you some of these people, girl. Some of these people need to be your clients, girl. We need to send Kerrion over there to you, girl, so we can get some answers, because we got to figure this out. And I don't feel like we should figure it out for like to see if it's Kurt Franklin. I don't feel that way. I feel like if Kerrion wants justice, then Kerrion is going to have to state who it is, and he has to do that within his own time. We can't like force him, to say who it is. And I don't think that that should be what people focus on. I think that the question should be, have you been molested? Not, did Kirk do it? Like, I don't think that because if you come from that angle, they're going to know that you are just trying to out someone or, come at Kirk. It's like you're targeting him versus to actually caring about me. And I think that that's what we need to do. We need to care about Kerrion first before we try to, pick his brain for personal information that obviously he hasn't wanted to talk about publicly. So I think that that's what we need to do. We need to get him to acknowledge the fact that he's been molested, and once we get there, then it's like, move accordingly. But I think that that's what we need to focus on the abuse, getting him to acknowledge the fact that he's been abused. So maybe he will approach it in a different way, his healing, maybe he'll actually want to heal from it when he actually acknowledges it. Maybe he hasn't fully acknowledged it because no one has necessarily taken it seriously. So until someone takes it seriously, how can he look at it as something, that happened to him, or even acknowledge the fact that he's a victim if no one's taken this seriously? So shout out to Black Rose for the super sticker. Thank you, beautiful. Shout out to Shoppa Style. Do you think Kirk is guilty, or you think it was someone else? I say at least he's guilty by association. I agree. So that's what I said. If it's not Kirk, it's somebody close to Kirk, and Kirk didn't do the right thing. It's no different than with R. Kelly. His mother let the person pay her $5,000, I believe, to not testify against him so that he didn't have to go to jail for what he did to R. Kelly. So that's why R. Kelly had a lot of animosity, and hurt towards his mom, because he blamed her for a lot. He did. He just didn't necessarily say it out loud, but he really did. He blamed her for a lot. They had a very tumultuous relationship because of it. And it's like she didn't know. It's like she knew, but she didn't know. Shout out to Detroit the Soloist. She said, I was just diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Watching your show lifts me up. And thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. I love you. I love you. Sending positive energy your way. Sending positive energy your way. This is what they do, unfortunately. Hey, start up. Hey, I'm not gonna look now. I'm not gonna say you're wrong. Nefertiti says, I think my biological dad is my grandpa or uncle. Oh, wow. Didn't realize how many families have been affected. Did a DNA test. Everyone connected to my egg donor family. Wow. Now that is powerful. That is powerful. Especially coming to terms with it, because that's a lot to drink in. That is a lot to drink in. Shout out to Melanie Sanders. She said, thank you, Sean. Thank you for discussing this serious topic. I don't know why it won't let me pull up these. This is so annoying. But shout out to Melanie Saunders. Thank you so much, sweetie. Thank you so much. Bridget Renee say, yes, I needed you on this case, Sean. Bridget, girl, look now. Look here. Look, I'm not about to look. This is what a rabbit hole. I would not be jumping down. I will keep y'all updated. But this is just a lot. And I just feel like Kerrion needs so much healing, and I just feel like I don't want to pry. I really don't. I really don't. Not yet, girl. But I got you, Bridget. If it comes to a point to it, we got to pry, girl. We're going to go pry. But as of now, I really just feel like this is, like I've said from the jump, a deep-rooted family issue. So I don't know. I don't know. And I really don't like to exploit like a family. I would rather keep it like on one person individually and like talk about people individually, But it's just like, yeah, I don't it's a lot. Shout out to T. Adam. Hey, Sean, I love your channel and research. Myself am a survivor. Oh, love you. Thank you so much for bringing awareness. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. Shout out to my girl, Jenna. Always love your shows and the insight you bring to us about topics that need to be talked about. I'm going to get my membership back. YouTube is making it so hard. I'm troubleshooting right now. Okay, girl, I'm sorry. You but y'all don't have to. Okay. I love you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you, sweetie. Any way possible, and Kerrion needs help, but he needs to accept it. I agree. I agree. I do think that, talking to someone is definitely a start. Is definitely a start. Definitely a start. But I think that it is either Kirk or somebody close to Kirk. And I think that that's why it has been so difficult. I think that that's why. What's your Cash App handle? I think it just says SeanDavieWay Show. Okay, so because there was one that I had made and then I had deleted it, but it still like exists. But it's okay. Hold on, because I want to make sure. Okay, yeah. So it's just this $ SeanDavieWay at Cash App. It used to be Show or some shit like that. I don't know, but I don't know. But yeah. But thank you, sweetie. Thank you. So yeah, I definitely think it's somebody that is close to Kirk if it's not Kirk. So, because I mean, you don't just blame, you know, you just don't blame something like that on a parent. I mean, it's just it's your parent, you know. So I mean, especially, yeah, I mean, I just don't see that just coming out of nowhere. So I would prefer to see if he would admit the fact that he has been molested first before we start going to who. Let's get him to acknowledge the fact that it's happened to him, you know, because sometimes, you know, especially if a person's lying, they usually won't admit that they've been molested. So if he was lying about what he said, then he won't admit it. So if we can get him to the point to where he won't say it out loud, then then obviously he lied. But if he's willing to say, yeah, I was molested, and then you be like, okay, well, by who? He chooses not to necessarily divulge. Okay, that I will understand. But if you say, were you molested, and he avoids the question, then I don't know. I would kind of question that. But other than that, as long as he say, yeah, I mean, he said, you playing my molested music, so obviously he was molested. So shout out to Gina B for the super sticker. Thank you, sweetie. You get my face too, girl. Period. Um, Kirk has a podcast. Shout out to Fab. Perk has a perk. Girl said perk. You was giving face Fab, girl. You pretty girl. Yo. Kirk has a podcast, so he has a free range to explain and bring his son on as well with the right mediator. I think that's best. I think so too. I mean, not if they're going to be talking about like molestation or anything like that. Especially if Kirk didn't do it, and it was somebody else. I don't think that that's something that should be discussed publicly until something is done about it. I feel that they should figure out what they're going to do about it first, and then talk about it once they've gotten some healing. But I don't think that they should like literally have to sit down and explain his son being molested in front of the world. Like, I don't feel like that's fair to Kirk, and I don't feel like that's fair to his son, especially if Kirk didn't do it. If somebody else did it. I don't feel that that's necessary. I feel like that would be a lot. And then you're bringing the entire family, in on this. I feel like it would be a powerful statement if whatever Kerrion decided that he wanted to do, with the situation, they did. And then him and Kirk came down and sat down and talked about it, because they would be on the same wavelength. And they would be on the same wavelength in a good way, not them sitting there being fake, just saying what to say, saying things what to say. And I also think that Kirk won't. The reason why Kirk hasn't brought him on this podcast as of now is because Kerrion is a spitfire. You never know what he's going to say. You never know. You never know what he's going to say. So with that type of mouth, and with Kerrion being triggered by Kirk, because Kirk is a trigger to Kerrion, and Kerrion is a trigger to Kirk. They set each other off. With just basically one sentence is enough to make them explode on each other. So they will trigger each other easily and quickly. So I think that that's probably why. I think it's more so of Kirk being in fear of what Kerrion would say going live on a podcast with him. I feel like Kirk will want to control the narrative. And I think Kerrion wouldn't mind if they actually sat down and truly worked it out. And it could be one of the big issues, that, he could have expressed it before. Kerrion could have expressed it to Kirk before. Either the situation that it happened between him and Kirk, or someone that Kirk knows. They could have talked about it before, and they just always get into it about it. They always just argue, and with Kerrion being a lot older now, it could be that's another thing when Kirk's saying like he needs to grow up, and things like that, to where Kerrion just like, well, no, that's kind of bullshit. How you gonna tell me to just grow up knowing I was molested? Like you don't just tell somebody to grow up, and just get their shit together. Like, I don't know. It's not that easy, So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I would love to find out. I really don't want it to be Kirk, but I can see I can definitely see it. I really can. It happens all the time. And Kirk is a human being. He's a human just like anybody else. So if other humans can do that, so can Kirk. He's not exempt. So yeah, it's definitely sad. It's definitely sad. Yeah, I hope that was the right Cash App, but I believe so. It was a blue circle with an S. Yes. I'm gonna go update that shit. I'm gonna go update it. Thank you, Sonia. And thank you so much, Fab. Thank you both of you ladies. Thank you so much. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Sean, somebody timed me out under my other church lady page. I don't know why, because I said nothing mean. It may have been accidental, but no one has admitted to it or apologized for it. Oh, how do I say this nicely? Okay. So love you, girl. I don't know what happened. I don't. Like you said, it could have been an accident, but I love my moderators and I really don't question them. But I will look into it. I definitely will. Thank you, sweetie. I'm sorry that happened, girl. But my moderators are piranhas. So I'm scared of them low key. Girl, I'm scared of them. Girl, you ain't about to get me in trouble, girl. Girl, you ain't about to have me having 50,000, girl. These moderators will cuss me out. So, look, I don't question them. I leave them alone. I'm scared. So I would just say it was an accident. I'm sorry. It was an accident, girl. It was an accident. We love you, girl. We love you. So we love you, church lady girl. You always over here. It's popping, girl. We love you. It was an accident, girl. It was, I promise. Because girl, I don't question them. Have you met Mel? Have you met Island? Girl, have you met Baby Shade? Girl, have you met Sneakwood? Girl, I am not a girl. Girl, have you met Yoki? Oh, girl, That is not about to be in my DM cussing me out. Or it's too many of them. Girl, it's too many. And then they are army. Fuck that, girl. There's the army. I can't do that now, girl. I gotta stay off that shit, girl. Girl, I don't question my moderators. That's girl. I don't do that. I don't do that. But we love you, girl. So mods, see, mods, love you guys. If you could drop the link to Station Head, because I'm about to go cuss out Tasha K. I feel it in my spirit. I'm about to go cuss her out in these shoes and them edges. She's her and motherfucking Wild Eye. Yeah, we about to get into it. So her and Wild Eye decide that they about to try to jump my motherfucking friend, and they got me messed up, bitch. So I'm about to go cuss out both them hoes. So yeah. So I'm about to cuss. Yeah, it's Basic Bitch Saturday. So yeah, I'm about to go cuss out some basic bitches. Yeah. So hair flip. So yep, drop there they go, period. They drop in the link. Sean, how do you feel about Kirk Franklin? Yeah, I just feel like Kirk is nervous. I feel like Kirk is trying to. We'll talk about it on Station Head. Because you come over to Station Head, we'll talk about it over there. Because I'm about to start moving around. I gotta get my churn in a second. We go on skating and all of that shit. So yeah. So it's time for me to go cuss Tasha out. We're gonna get into her live. And once she talked about how she tried to debunk Armon and how she went on Wild Eye show, how she went on, his motherfucking show Beach, and went over there and they both of them was funky. And girl, I'm about to cuss them out, girl. It's a wrap. Yeah, fuck a fake friend where your real friends at. Fuck a fake friend where your real friends at. So, period. So, we about to go over there. Zaraz. The link is in the chat. So y'all hit that link, and we're about to go over there. So give me like 2-3 minutes. I gotta use the bathroom, and so I don't want to hear that shit. So I'm gonna play a song or two, and then I will be there. Oh my god! So come over there right now. Thank you everybody for the super chats and the super support and the cash apps and all of that stuff. Thank you. I love you so much. And we out of here. See y'all over on Station Head. Period. Bye.